welcome back. Coffee first. Guess what's arrived yesterday? Goodies for the project. We're still waiting on the Darton racing sleeves, mind you. We've got pistons and connecting rods. Ross Racing Pigeons. Pistons pigeons. Alright, we shall show them to you. Put it in the pack and compare it to the old ones. So I've got, from memory, ceramic coating on the top and Teflon coating on the skirts. I wonder how thick that is, but yeah. Ceramic on the skirts, and Teflon on the skirts and ceramic on the top. They're fully floating, they're forged Ross, and 10:1 compression ratio. Because the engine's boosted, you don't want to go too high, because already boosted, but you could go low in compression, like you could go to 8.5, stuff like that. But yeah, it's kind of pointless, I think, to do that, because you're trying to up the performance. But apparently going too high, I was told, in compression is difficult. Boosting an engine that's already got high compression, because the compression is just going to go through the roof, of course, as you boost increases. Apparently 10 is a good medium compression ratio. It's not too high, it's not too low. But also, if I decide to run it flex fuel and I've got like 12:1 compression, even if running, say, E85 that was good and boost, I would never be able to run it on pump gas. It would just detonate all the time. Like the engine I built before was 11. I made that 11:1 by shaving the heads and having 10:1 compression. And the thing is, that would not run very well on anything less than 98. So if you go to say 12, it's just not going to run very well on pump gas. So I thought go for 10:1. So if I ever run flex fuel, which I probably will run it on flex fuel, I can like reduce the horsepower setting and then run it on pump gas. So yeah, so these, we showed them like bits of jewelry. You have a good look now, because when they're in the engine, you're not going to see them again. Yeah, very beautiful. And the pins, but I did notice they've changed to spiral locks. I don't know why they are supposed. Are they better than circlips? And you have to put 4, 2 on each side, and they're basically like a spring. You have to stretch them out a bit to get them in there. They're like a spring. That'd be a pain, I imagine. I've never done these before, but they look like they'd be a pain to install. I wonder what the benefit is of having 4 of these compared to 2 circlips. You can just use a pair of circlips pliers. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is they changed. Does anybody know in the comments why spiral locks have replaced the circlips? Are they that much better? We'll see. Alright, and then we have our rods. Our Scat rods with ARP 2000 bolts, H-beam. Actually a bit rough. They feel rough. I thought they'd be a bit smoother than that, but yeah. I still need to balance these. I also need to, the pistons weight, the piston weights are here, and there is quite, that's the sizes. Piston weight is actually 20 grams heavier than stock. I should have a stock one here somewhere. Hang on a second. I got a bunch of pistons. Yokes. They're not tight, they're just a little bit. You should never leave these torqued up, apparently. If you're not using the engine, you should never leave these torqued up. Or is that just for aluminium? I think that's just for aluminium rods. Just wanted to show a comparison. Alright. So, height wise, the skirt is a little bit higher. Yeah, it looks like the top is a bit higher. This is a 10-to-1. It's got like a slight dome in the middle, but this one's got a dome off to the side, and it's got a valve indentation, which I have to be really careful because I've got such high lift on my cams. I need to make sure they don't hit. But yeah, no, I think they're probably, when I line up the pins, they're very similar in height. But the top design is very different. Both stock, and the reason it's stock is because I'm going to re-sleeve it. So there's an extra groove in, it's like a half depth groove between the compression and the scrape. I don't know why that is. I've never seen that before. And so yeah, it's got an extra groove, but there's no ring for that. So there must be a reason, a lubricating reason for having the groove between the two rings. The oil ring looks much bigger than the factory. Otherwise, the thickness of the rings, the compression and the secondary, they look very similar. Similar size, but these are a little bit heavier. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I could lighten them. Excuse me. I wonder if I could lighten these a bit, because I don't like heavy pistons. And they're probably heavier. I don't know if you can see, because this is much chunkier. But then it's going to have to handle a lot more horsepower. I will talk to the applied engineering and see what they say. Maybe I'll Google it too, whether people lighten Ross pistons. There's not a lot. The only part you could lighten would be here. There's not a lot of meat anywhere else. And I guess forged aluminium is probably heavier than cast, right? So because it's forged, it's heavier than cast. Because that side cast is porous. It looks like, yeah, I don't know. But these are only designed to handle 300 horsepower. And these are hopefully 1,000 plus. So there you go. I will put in, always don't play with these and touch these and put them back in the packet without wiping them or lubricating them up first, because you've got acid and salt in the sweat of your hands. And if I were to touch this all over, right, I wipe my forehead of sweat, there's salt particles, I put it back in the packet, I open it in a few months time and it'll be covered in surface rust. So always clean these and re-lubricate them if you do that. I have not done this yet. I just want to see. And there we go. Apparently these can handle 1,200 horsepower. These are not your normal Scat rods, okay? These are modified Chevy small block rods to fit this engine. So they're basically a Chevy rod that's been modified. It also fits some LS, apparently small block LS engines, with a small journal. I think these are called a small journal block, but these are called, I think they're called professional, from memory, the professional range, because the normal range of rods, I think usually about 700 horsepower, normal H-beam. So I was looking at I-beam and or these, but the problem is finding a set of I-beam in my price range that can handle the extra horsepower and are suitable for modifying to suit this block is hard to find, right? I did find one set, but they were like over, you know, by the time they would have got to Australia, that would have been over $5,000 for a set of rods. I just don't have that. Right? So these Scats apparently can handle 1,200 horsepower, but that is, they can also handle, but because this is a short stroke, not a long stroke, they can handle even more horsepower, right? Because you imagine at RPM, if you've got a short stroke, right, like that, there's less stress on the con rod than if it's a long stroke and they've got to go really fast like that. So because it's a short stroke, right, the stroke is roughly the same, so it's like what they call a square bore, because the stroke is roughly the same as the diameter of the piston, which is roughly, I think it's roughly 3.7 inch stroke. So the stroke is short, which is great for high RPM, but also good for the rod because it can handle more power. So this is for the Chevys, I believe, have a lot longer stroke, and but in general, yes, because it's a small capacity engine, it's also quite a small piston for the rod, right? So I think we could comfortably push it if we can handle 1,400 horsepower like some people expect. I think we can comfortably do that, not permanently, just on the dyno, a one-off. It'll go on a vehicle dyno, not an engine dyno. I don't know anyone who has an engine dyno. Nice, but I don't know. and then you'd have to set it all up with the hull tech and all that. I don't know. It's all new to me. I've rebuilt engines and I put them in the vehicles. Hang on a second. I put engines in vehicles and just run them. I have never built an engine and then used a standalone system and then having to take it to a dyno. Never ever have I dynoed a vehicle before, so this will be a first. But you must admit, this one looks a lot more capable, right? Than this one. Don't get me wrong, this is probably plenty good enough, but yeah, I think this will way outperform this, and it should. So yeah, but also the combined weight. Let's see what the combined weight is of both. This is not a accurate scale. grams, 1,110. So say 1,110 grams compared to, wow, 1,150. That surprises me. That surprises me. I thought this would be a lot heavier with the conrod because the piston's 20 grams heavier. Wow. Okay. So they're only 40 grams heavier than stock. Nice if they were lighter, but I doubt we'll be able to remove 40 grams from material from them. I wish this would stay still. Yeah, definitely 1,110. So yeah, 40 grams. So both the piston and the rod are 20 grams heavier each. I'm not going to pull the piston off to check. I checked online and it says stock piston is 365 grams and this is 385.1. So very nice. So I will pack these up again and then we have to wait for our Darton sleeves. Apparently last they heard at Applied Engineering, they heard they were in the system being done, right? That's the last information he received from Darton, that they're in the system being made. So again, they're a one-off, so it's not like they can grab them off the shelf. People don't normally sleeve their 4.7 block engines, right? So they'll probably go for something that's similar and then modify it. I guess they have blanks. I presume they have blanks and then machine them to suit. So I just don't want to do all of this and then find that the casting that I've got is not strong enough. Like the previous block had a crack in it and I sleeved one bore. That was quite a reasonable price because it was only one, and it was just a run-of-the-mill sleeve. It was just a normal, these are racing sleeves, and I think they're interlocking. They have like flat sides. We'll see when they get here. They've told me I can have footage of when they freeze them and put them into the block. They'll be very interesting. I will ask them to make as much footage as possible for me as well as for you. So yeah, they're the latest part. So the next big part is the sleeves, and then the machining on the block can also begin. I'm still not happy. I'm never happy with my work. People always say it's fine, you can stop now, it's good, no need to do anymore, and but I'm never happy. So I went to Amazon last night and I ordered some different grades buffing tools so I can get a better finish. Although it is pretty good though, but it's not good enough for me. I'm not happy yet. And also I did give these a clean, but apparently if you get these polished right up and smooth, it really helps with detonation, not pre-detonation, but reduces carbon build-up. And I guess because I'll be using E85 a lot, there won't be that much carbon anyway, as far as I know, because it's alcohol. And apparently having these clean, smooth and shiny helps with horsepower. Apparently more than you would think, until of course it builds up with carbon and it's back to normal. But I imagine using E85, there won't be much carbon buildup. Tell me if I'm wrong. Does E85 have as much carbon buildup as just using 98 octane gas pump gas? I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd update you on parts. That the sleeves are now the only parts I'm waiting on. Of course I'm going to need more things, but only small bits and pieces here and there. The only next big cost for me is the machining. And then all the sundries like fuel lines and exhaust and intake stuff. So, because I have to budget, right? I have to budget now, so yeah, but I should be okay. I should be okay. So yeah, this is just it's shiny, but it's just a rough cast surface. I just want to smooth it out. It's like flat polished steel. That's why I've ordered some more like different grade buffers to get rid of that roughness. Right? Shiny, but it's still rough. All right. So I will continue with these. So I will show you when I'm happy or happy enough. So I thought I was going to bring these to him yesterday, but then yesterday I was in pain and I didn't do anything yesterday. I didn't even come here yesterday. And then the parts came yesterday and I still didn't come inside here. I only brought them in this morning. And the more I think about it, the less happy I am with the porting. But now I'm here, I'm feeling it. It feels quite nice. But anyway, I'll just touch them up again. And I've still got to do the combustion chambers. So I will Google that to see how much difference it makes. I just watched someone on YouTube doing it and explaining that yes, it makes an improvement, but how much of an improvement to have polished combustion chambers, I don't know. I will find out. And but even if it's 2%, anything to get it up there, you know, because we're getting 1,000 horsepower, 2% is still what? 20 horsepower of 1,000? Because 100, yes, 20 horsepower is 2 2% of 1,000 is 20 horsepower. So even if you gain 2% for polishing, I may spend a few hours doing it, but probably worth it. Otherwise, it may end up with, I don't know, 980 horsepower. Imagine if I find out it's 2%, I didn't do it, and we end up with 980 horsepower. I'll kick myself for not doing it, right? So I can't get that extra 20 horsepower to get to 1,000. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please click like and subscribe. I really need it. The channel needs it. I had actually a good couple of days of views and subscribers. Thank you to all the new subscribers. But then, being a Monday and a Monday night, I again had a few hours with 0 views on the channel. It's amazing. That's never happened before. Only since I come back from Philippines. So I don't know what went wrong. Maybe because I uploaded some stuff in Philippines, YouTube thinks that's where I am. And because there's less advertising money in Philippines, they're promoting the channel less now. I just don't know. I'm just trying to work in my mind what's going on. Because basically, since coming back from Philippines, I've doubled in views, but yet it's only gone up like $2 this month, more than when I wasn't here. So something's not right there with YouTube. But anyway, get your act together, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Please click like and subscribe, and please share it, tell your friends about it. What I'm doing here is a world first, and I'm just myself doing it, and I'm not a well man, so it's going to take time. But I will help, and I will teach, and I will answer your questions, and let's go. Let's finish this job. So now I'm going to spend some more time on these and pack this up, clean it up, clean these, lubricate them, get my fingerprints off them, put it all back together, and then wait for the time when the sleeves arrive. Catch you all later, and thanks for watching.